And you've already heard from a number of great community leaders telling you about the importance of the United Way, the function of the United Way, the impact of the United Way. And we're going to further that conversation right now with David Clifford. He's a professor in health administration in the health administration program and currently also the co-director of nonprofit capacity building program for the Institute for Study of Children, Families, and Communities at Eastern Michigan University. And we've had David on our airwaves before. David, it's great to have you back.
It's great to be here, Sam.
You were previously the chair of the Community Impact Committee. Just talk to us a little bit about what you believe is the most important work of the United Way.
Well, you know, what most people think about when they think about United Way is the agency funding we do. You know, we've got 40, 45 agencies we provide critical dollars so they can go. But I don't think that's necessarily the most important thing we do. There's a couple things I really would like to feature. One is we work with, in 6 different areas that we focus on, like, food security, nutrition, youth, early childhood, homelessness, aging, etc. And we work with coordinating groups. Like for food and nutrition, it's food gatherers. Mm-hmm. And what those folks do for us in those 6 areas is they help us work with all the agencies so they come together, they coordinate what they do, they collaborate on what they do. Not only just makes them more efficient, but it has to do with effectiveness. They're sharing their plans, they're coordinating their activities, and that makes for greater community impact.
No question. You know, I posed this question to each of your predecessors that have come up on our panel here, but your involvement, how did you get involved? What was the catalyst for you, if you will?
Yeah, well, I've been somebody who's been interested in United Way all my life, because I can remember back when I was a kid, you know, giving to the Torch Drive in Detroit, which was a United Way fundraising. So I've always been connected to and active on the campus at EMU, on the committee there for many years and raising money in the campaigns. And I became active through our community investment committee, as you mentioned, and that's the group that looks at the needs in the community, works with the agencies to understand what their needs are, where the gaps are, and we make recommendations to the board on where we ought to invest our money. And so that's sort of where I came in, working as a volunteer with that committee. It also meshed with what I do professionally as a professor of health administration too. So that was my entree.
Yeah, you can definitely see the symbiosis there. So for folks that are listening and they want to know, okay, what's the impact in this community? What can they see, feel, and touch here?
Yeah, well, we got 45 agencies, and people will see that. We got 211. We get a couple thousand calls every quarter coming to that. People are using that. They're using the services every day. Look for that sticker on the door, United Way supported agency. So people will see that impact. I want to mention one thing also that has to do in terms of building capacity, and people in Ypsilanti will see that kind of impact this year. One of the things we do, we allocate money for capacity building, and that usually is directed at sort of emerging needs in the community or where we need to have more capacity for services. For instance, last year we allocated $130,000 with our funding partner, the Ann Arbor Area Community Foundation, to projects focused on youth in Ypsilanti. And part of that is in support, especially of when the schools, Will Run and Ypsi schools, were consolidating into one school district. We know this was an opportune time to help build capacity in the community. For instance, we worked with a Dispute Resolution Center to set up a conflict resolution room in the new consolidated high school.
Yeah.
So we did that. We worked with food gatherers. They're building food pantry right in a school. So you've got outreach to families who are dealing with hunger. You provide the food there. You do nutrition education. So we did several of those kinds of capacity building funding. So people will see that in Ypsilanti, because we're focused on where the needs are, where people really need our help, and we want to make sure that the services are out there for them.
All right, so Dave, I know you got to run here before we let you go, though. I got to ask you to pick this weekend's game, and I have to remind you that you know the Madison family, and the Madison family knows you.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Be cognizant of that when you make this pick.
There's no doubt about it. Although I'll tell you, Madison's just across the street. First time Greg was here, and folks, good friends of ours, one from Michigan State, one from U of M. They fly both flags. I'm just flying the big M. I'm an alum here. It's Go Blue. We're looking better. I think we're going to win this weekend.
All right. Well, David, thanks a lot. We appreciate you taking the time.
Sam, appreciate it very much.
All right.
Thank
thanks
you.
a lot.